This actor appeared in every episode of Cheers.
He was also one of the Chicago superfans on SNL.
And Jason Sudeikis was his nephew.
Who is it? Find out next on Sarah's Wiki Corner podcast.
Hollywood sign.
My Little Pony.
Traffic lights.
Sarah's Wiki Corner.
Wiki Corner.
It is time for Sarah's Wiki Corner. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Hello. What? Hello. What are we? That was very short. What are we learning about today in your Wiki Corner?
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but George Wendt died yesterday at the age of 76.
Yeah, very sad.
So we got to talk about George Wendt today.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
So he, of course, is best known for portraying Norm Peterson on Cheers from 1982 to 1993, which earned him 6 consecutive nominations for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series.
Wow, good for him.
He was born on the south side of Chicago and got his start in acting when he joined the famed improv school, the Second City, in 1975. While at the Second City, Wendt spent time in the troupe's touring company, but left in 1980 to pursue a film and television career. In the early 80s, he began appearing in some of his first Hollywood roles, including on the shows Taxi, Soap, and MASH, before landing his big break as Norm in Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
In the original script of the 1982 Cheers pilot, there was no Norm Peterson.
No, just an empty stool.
The character was not originally intended to be a main cast role. Wendt and John Ratzenberger auditioned for the same role of a character named George for the pilot episode. The role was only to be Diane Chambers' first customer, and he had only one line, and it was just, beer.
That was
his line. That was it. The character eventually evolved into Norm Peterson. Show co-creator Les Charles stated that the character was based on a frequent customer he met while working as a bartender during college.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, John Ratzenberger suggested to the producers that a know-it-all character should be added.
Yeah.
And that resulted in, of course, Cliff Clavin.
It's hard to imagine the show without those two perched at the end of the bar.
Yeah, right.
I mean, what else? Yeah.
Yeah. So Norm appeared in all 275 episodes of Cheers from 1982 to 1993, along with Sam Malone and Carla Tortelli. Norm is one of only 3 characters to appear in every single episode of Cheers and the only bar patron to do so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He also made 1 guest appearance each in the 3 other sitcoms set in the Cheers universe, Frasier, Wings, and the spin-off The Tortellis, which lasted just 13 episodes in 1987.
I forgot Wings was a spinoff of Cheers.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Yeah. So Norm's wife, Vera, is often mentioned in the show, but her face is never seen.
Yeah.
When she is finally shown, her face is covered in pie thrown by Diane, and the actress is uncredited. The only other time she's seen, viewers can see only her legs, and at one time her waving from a car, which drives past Cheers on her 15th wedding anniversary. And Vera was actually played by George Wendt's real-life wife.
Is that right?
Yes.
Is she an actress? Or do we know?
I don't know. She was. I think they met. I think she was in Second City with him.
Oh, I see.
So, but I don't know if she was really much of an actress.
Okay.
Yeah. In 1993, Wendt and Ratzenberger sued Host International for copyright infringement, trademark infringement, and violating the actor's personality rights. The company operated airport lounges styled similarly to Cheers, which included 2 robots, 1 heavyset, and the other a postal worker, which the actors claimed resembled their characters, obviously.
Which one was which?
Yeah.
Yep.
The case was initially dismissed as the likeness to the actors was not strong, but this was reversed on appeal, and the case resulted in an undisclosed settlement in 2001 by Host International.
Okay.
Yeah. In the early 90s, Wendt made cameo appearances on several episodes of SNL as Bob Swirsky, one of the Chicago superfans, along with Chris Farley, Mike Myers, Robert Smigel, and one-time host Joe Mantegna.
The Bears.
The Bears,
The
yeah.
Bears.
Following his success on Cheers, he also starred in the short-lived The George Wendt Show.
Oh.
And he also appeared on Broadway. He was on Broadway playing Edna Turnblad in the musical comedy
Hairspray. Was he
in
really?
2008. And he was also the uncle of actor Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, yeah,
who
you
was
mentioned that.
his sister Catherine's son, which is just really weird. Like, who knew?
That is surprising.
That is. Wendt died in his sleep at his home in Los Angeles yesterday at the age of 76. Several of his Cheers co-stars offered remembrances of him, including Ted Danson, Rhea Perlman, John Ratzenberger, and Kelsey Grammer, and he is survived by his wife and 3 children.
It's very sad. Very sad. It's one of those guys that you don't think about, and then as soon as you think about him, you remember all these great lines that he had. In fact, Maggie just texted me about a half hour ago, like a montage of all the...
Somebody was
How you doing,
texting us
Mr.
yesterday,
Peterson?
wasn't he?
Somebody was texting us all the lines.
All the different, which
How
I
you doing,
love.
Mr. Peterson?
Yeah.
How's life treating you? All right, you picked out a record to go along with George Wendt, did you, Sarah?
Yeah, so we're going to play the Cheers theme song.
Great choice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it. Sarah, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Yeah. George Wendt.
Let's see, is Cheers streaming anywhere? Let's see.
It was.
It's for free on Pluto.
Pluto
TV, also Hulu,
I s-
Paramount Plus.
I started watching it at least in the last year. I started
really
watching a
watch
few
it.
episodes.
I started rewatching Frasier. Not rewatching because I never watched it when it was on, but watching it, I guess.
You never watched any of Frasier when it was on originally?
No, it was.
Oh,
I think I was too young for it.
Right, okay.
But it is
Wow.
laugh out loud funny still.
Yeah.
All these years later, just like Seinfeld.
Yeah,
like-
you can tell obviously from the clothing
Oh, yeah.
and the technology that
Yes.
it's not new, but the humor is
It's so
those
good.
shows are just timeless.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Kelsey Grammer wasn't in I don't know what percentage of Cheers episodes he would be in, but not many at all. I mean, he was much lighter in appearances, of course, than George Wendt and John Ratzenberger.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just can't imagine the show without those two perched at the end of the
I
bar.
know. I think it's kind of funny that John Ratzenberger was like, he didn't get a role in the show, so he was like, hey, would you ever think about like,
A know-it-all?
yeah. And then he like basically created his own character, which is great, you know?
And that's not really I don't think how John Ratzenberger sounds either. That voice that I hear in my head now that you're saying his name.
Really?
I don't think that's how he normally, he's got the kind of nasally sound. I don't think that's normally his.
He's in
speaking
a lot.
voice.
I was looking at his Wikipedia page just for whatever, down the rabbit hole, and he has done a ton of voice work.
stuff. Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
he did one of those shows. It wasn't Dirty Jobs. Obviously, that's Mike Rowe, but he was in one of those How It's Made or something like that series. He narrated and
Oh,
did a good job with that.
yeah.
But was George Wendt wasn't in any of the Toy Stories, was he?
No.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
I know Ratzenberger was, but all right, you ready to rock?
Yes.
We'll rejoin here. Legends 1027, the biggest hits in the history of the world. It's Cheers, and that is the theme song, but it's the longer version, some extra verses in there. You're welcome. By the way, interesting fact, when I was a kid, I could play that on the piano.
That's cool.
That's it.
You couldn't do it now?
No.
You sat down in front of a keyboard, you wouldn't be able to bang that out? No?
I don't think I'd recognize which part of the piano was the keyboard,
Oh.
to be honest. Let's recap 3 things we must take away. Oh, why did we play that song?
Well, because we were talking about George Wendt, of
You're right.
course, who died yesterday.
All right,
Yeah.
let's recap 3 things we must take away from today's Wiki Corner. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
All right, George Wendt appeared in every episode of Cheers.
He made guest appearances in each of the 3 other sitcoms set in the Cheers universe.
And he was Jason Sudeikis' uncle.
There
Which,
you go.
I don't know, of everything, like, that really was like, oh, like, who knew?
That's
that
the
was
one.
Really,
And so, just to be clear, it's his sister's son.
Yeah.
That's how they're related.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And his wife played Vera
yes.
in
The never
the
seen
episode.
Vera.
Yeah. Folks want to learn more about George Wendt, Sarah, where do they go? What do they do?
You can go to my wiki blog. If you go to legends1027.com on the homepage, there's a link that takes you to my blog where I post everything I talk about every day.
You got it. Plus, you can watch us live every day on Facebook, and then you can catch the archives of it. YouTube, go to YouTube, search out Sarah's Wiki Corner. You'll find the entire library of Wiki Corners right there for your viewing and listening pleasure. Be sure to like and subscribe so you know when we post new material. And you're back tomorrow with a fresh episode
Absolutely.
on a Throwback Thursday.
Throwback Thursday.
Looking forward to it. Stones, David Lee Roth, Lionel Richie, and more coming up on Legends 1027.